Hi, I'm Danny and these are my Diecast Disasters. In this video I'm going to be restoring and customizing a Matchbox Super Kings number 149, the Ferrari Testarossa. This car was very kindly sent to me by Rob from Matchbox Garage. Thanks Rob. And I'm going to be customizing this Testarossa in the style of Crockett's Testarossa from Miami Vice. Matchbox produced this Super Kings version of the Testarossa from 1988 until 1992. The Super Kings models, of course, being a lot larger than the little 1/64th. Let's take a closer look at it off the turntable. It's definitely a pretty worn out looking little Ferrari. It's missing heaps of paint there. Wheels are pretty worn out, they're missing all their chrome. Pretty ugly looking red base on it there. It's got nice opening doors, it's missing the steering wheel there. The windscreen's fairly scuffed and a little perished looking. There's the engine in the back there. Definitely not going to look like a high-flying drug dealer in this car, so let's get to work giving it a makeover. There's 4 rivet posts holding it together. These are drilled out. There we go, and now I can take the bottom off and take the rest of the car apart. There's usually quite a few pieces to these Super Kings. Pretty rusted suspension plate there. Grubby old interior there. There's a couple of wee rivets holding the windscreen in. So I believe in the series Crockett originally drove a fake Ferrari Daytona. It was later replaced with the white Testarossa. So that's the boot off. Then there's a load of these little plastic parts. There's a dash there and the grills. I'm going to take the doors out for painting. This front grill section here is in there quite hard. I had to sort of pry that out with my pick here. And then finally this plastic section on the boot was sort of riveted on, so I gently drilled those out. So here we have all the cast parts ready for paint stripping. And here they are after the paint stripper's been painted on. It's wrinkling all that paint away. Then I rinse it off with some water. This is how they come out. Next I give them a good clean up with the wire brush on my rotary tool. You can see it getting rid of all that oxidation there. There's some little scraps of red paint left. So apparently the reason that they replaced the fake Daytona with the real Testarossa is that Enzo Ferrari wasn't very happy about them using a fake car. And here we go, here are all the parts after burnishing, looking a bit cleaner and shinier there. Just taking a closer look at the body of the car. I think it's a little bit rougher than it needs to be, so I'll give it a quick going over with some sandpaper. And here it is after sanding. I haven't given it a major sanding job, but it's a bit smoother than it was for the paint to go onto. Next, I drill and tap those rivet posts. I'll be able to put the car together later on with some little button head screws. And once I'd finished this, the castings were all given a quick clean with some alcohol, and then they were all given a couple of coats of nice white paint. And I must say that painting a large white car is actually not the easiest thing in the world to do. Obviously the slightest bits of grit or anything stick out like dogs' proverbials. So here it is, once I've done a little bit of detailing, just the windows and the rear lights really. And here I've printed some little Ferrari badges, cut one out here, and I'm going to use a little bit of PVA glue to put it onto the bonnet of our Testarossa. And once this had dried, all of the body parts were given a couple of coats of nice gloss varnish. Moving on to all those plastic parts now. They're all pretty grubby. I'll begin by popping out the seats from the interior there, then the wheels and axles from under that rusty old suspension plate. I first tried cleaning up the suspension plate with some sort of CLR type stuff. Got rid of a little bit of the rust, but didn't make that much of a difference. So I popped it off and gave it a good going over with a wire brush on my Dremel. It's looking a bit less rusty now. It's never going to look brand new. I gave the base section here a going over with a brush on my rotary tool to get rid of any other loose dirt on there. And then I used a little bit of my Starbond super glue to attach the suspension plate back in. With that base reassembled, I moved on and gave the other plastic parts a good wash in some hot soapy water. And then all of those plastic parts were repainted in a nice satin black. Also found a little replacement steering wheel. I guess it's not like a proper Testarossa steering wheel, but it was the only one that I had that would fit. Next I detailed the motor. Here are the seats. They got some pretty stubborn rust stains on those. These were repainted in a tanny colour. And I also painted the interiors of the doors. Here's the front grille. I've detailed some lights on that. Now the windscreen was a little bit brittle and sort of perished, so I'm going to have to be really careful with it. I'm going to start by giving it a gentle sanding using 2000 grit sandpaper. There it is, after I've gotten most of those big scratches and scuffs out. Next I give it a good polishing with some plastic polish. It's a little yellowed and I might try retro brighting it in some cases, but I feel like it's too brittle and it might damage it. It was a little cracked there, so I've used a tiny bit of super glue to glue it back together, and this is the finished tidied up windscreen. And lo and behold, Matchbox actually gave us some proper Testarossa style wheels. However, they're a bit worn out, missing a lot of chrome there. Here I've given them a wash and cleaned up the axles with the wire brush on my rotary tool. And next I repainted the rims in chrome. There we go, they're looking a whole lot tidier. And with that, we've finished refurbishing and repainting all the parts of our scruffy Matchbox Testarossa. So 15 parts with this car. While I reassemble all of those in the background, let's just take a moment to look back and be reminded of what we started with. Here it is, our scruffy old Ferrari Testarossa, all the way from Rob at Matchbox Garage in merry old England. Definitely seen better days, this one. Half its paint chipped away, it's missing the chrome off its wheels, scruffy old scuffed windscreen, and it doesn't even have a steering wheel. So let's give it a 1980s Miami Vice makeover. And here it is, our finished, restored and customised Matchbox Super Kings number 149, the Ferrari Testarossa. And it's been customised in the style of Crockett's Testarossa from Miami Vice. That old worn out red paint job stripped away and replaced with a nice new clean white one. It's been detailed inside and out. It's had those wheels tidied up and re-chromed. A new Ferrari badge on the front there. And it's got a new steering wheel. I'll be honest, this was quite a tricky project, working with the white car, trying not to get any marks on it or make any mistakes. But I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. It's definitely looking a lot tidier than it was before. You can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Again, a massive thanks to Rob for sending this over. Thanks, mate. Remember to check out his channel, Matchbox Garage. Big thanks to everyone for supporting the channel, making the comments on my videos and giving them a thumbs up. Extra special thanks to my awesome Patreon supporters who help to support the channel through Patreon. Check out my Patreon page, there's a link in the description below if you'd like to join them and help out as well. And thanks heaps for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you'd like to see more similar stuff, remember to subscribe and hit the bell. Give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends.